All right. Good morning. What is up, everybody? It is Monday. What's the date? April the 6th. If I don't know, if it still feels like March. And it feels like, I don't know, every day's a Monday right now, but
Yeah,
we're
it's
here.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, exactly. We're here and listen, if there's a silver lining to the cloud, that we're all kind of sort of under right now, it's that we're playing Minecraft, and that's not so bad. Am I right or am I right?
Yeah.
I think you're right.
And we're here. So Steve is here with me, and we're joined by Adam Clarke, who was with us a couple weeks ago, and we didn't scare him off enough. So he's back, and we're
Yeah.
gonna build some stuff in Minecraft today. I don't know exactly what we're building, but we're gonna just talk about some tips, ways to build cool things, and then Adam builds some of the craziest stuff you've ever seen in Minecraft. So we'll get him to show us some of the stuff that he's built, and hopefully inspire you to build kind of your own sort of things. So yeah, this is really exciting.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So, Steve, I mean, what do you want me to? Where do you want to start with all this? Because like Minecraft is great, and I've got my son and his friends. They're on a realm at the moment. They're just building. They're going to survival stage, and they're kind of building everything they want. They're making shops. They're making kind of things like that. They've even made, a kind of mini games and things like that. So there's all sorts of stuff that people are making.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think that's one side of it. And I think, I think what today I want to do is I want to show some of the kind of stuff that how I do it, because I kind of do bizarre, weird, crazy things, and I'll use third party kind of bits of software to build things that are kind of impossible to build normally in Minecraft.
I think our audience definitely wants to see a lot of that.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, this won't be necessarily a tutorial. It'd be more of a show and tell. And then I think if anybody wants to sort of really poke at that, then we can kind of see who's interested enough to kind of follow some tutorials or to follow some links and things that we can kind of show people to download this stuff and to get going on the stuff themselves.
Nice.
So let's just show you some examples first. So I'm gonna.
But first, Mike, what is that we're looking at?
Funny that you should ask, Steve. So this was my Sunday was spent building a giant Participate logo in the sky. I had to. It's funny, the things that I had never done before. I'd done like pixel art sort of things in the past, in particular with students. But one of the things I had never done before was take an image, and I had to like turn it into a grid, so that I could like figure out the block placement. So I had to one thing that's really cool is there's an art strategy where you turn like something you want to replicate into a grid, and then you just replicate the art grid by grid block by grid block, and you can redraw almost anything. So there are actually some templates online that you can find that allow you to upload an image, and then it overlays a grid on top of it, and then you can print that image off with the grid on it, so that you then have your piece of art that you can then replicate. So I just took that website and created the image file with a grid. It's an 80 by 80 grid. And then I had it on my screen. I have two monitors, so I had it on my one monitor on the side, and I just basically followed the pattern. I feel pretty happy about the P in particular. And I think that I did a pretty decent job. It's not like perfectly symmetrical, but it is pretty fun. And you kind of spawn in this world right around here. So what's really cool is that the first thing you'll do is you'll look up and you'll see a giant Participate logo in the sky. which is really cool. I will share, and Steve would know this because Steve's going to be a part of it, but all this week, we are going to be working on a big build on this realm, this private realm, related to, I think we're going to build a big roller coaster.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
And
Great idea.
so we're gonna use a lot of redstone. We're gonna do some interesting things, hopefully, and make it kind of bob and weave through the landscape. I took a look around the world and saw some places where it could go into the hills and down into ravines and stuff. So that is what's coming up this afternoon at 3 o'clock, and then all the rest of this week on the channel on the twitch.tv/inside participate. So make sure you follow us there so that we can do that all with you. I can't help but see what's on Mr. Clarke's screen, which is a giant statue.
Yeah.
That
well, let me know when.
cool.
Let me know
Oh
if you're on this at the moment.
Yeah,
we are.
we're looking at it now.
Okay. So
Unbelievable. It is very, very big.
It is David. You know, Michelangelo's sculpture, as you know, and then put into Minecraft. Now, I'm in this sculpture because this is a map. I'm kind of it's a kind of mini project I'm working on in the background always. But that's kind of an example of what we can achieve with some of the tools that I've got. And this all started with this model that I'm going to float over at the moment, which is a giant human being.
Wow. I remember the first time I saw this, Adam.
I know. This is what started it all off for me, really, which was in the early days of Minecraft. I started messing around with third-party applications and stuff, and I tried to. And this is a kind of an art thought idea. So this is the human body, but it started off life as a video. And it started off life as, you know, you can get those videos where you can see through the human body. It sort of scans through the human body from top to bottom. So you see all the lungs and stuff like that. And if I go down here, you'll be able to see. And that's why this is split up into slices. If we go down here, we can kind of see that we've got it's made of muscle groups and stuff like that. And that's how this whole image is made. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to see if I could turn the video, a two-dimensional thing, back into the 3 dimensions of the body that it represented. So here's the kind of the end result at the end. You can see the kind of the muscle groups as you do those CT scans or whatever. And lo and behold, it kind of worked. It created the 3-dimensional sort of figure of this human body. So this is a project called the Visible Human Project. It is an American project, and I remember doing it by hand, and I got down to the sort of shoulders, and then I talked to a guy called Adrian Brightmore, and Adrian Brightmore, we were having a conversation. He goes, "Give me 20 minutes," and 20 minutes later, he had written a Python script that did the rest of the body in 7 minutes.
People are so smart. It makes me sick sometimes. Exactly.
What I realized then was that like maths is cool, and I should have done more maths when I was at school. So it's so that's what maths can do. It can teach you how to code things and make cool stuff, especially in Minecraft. But essentially, we used a filter. He wrote a filter for MC Edit. And MC Edit is a powerful tool that we've been using for years and years and years to be able to edit Minecraft chunks and do kind of crazy things with it. That's what I'm going to open up next. I'm going to kind of open up MC Edit and show you a little bit about it, so if we can see it. So MC Edit is this, and I'm using a latest version of it. It's running on my Windows PC. There is this version won't run on a Mac, unfortunately. There are versions that will run on Macs. But this version is good because it can open up. It used to be able to open up all of Bedrock, but alas, the latest version of Bedrock, it has got too many weird blocks in, and MCA doesn't like it. But this will open up Education Edition, which is really cool. So you can do a kind of quick load, and and it looks at kind of your Java stuff. So let's have a look for the body redux that we just did. So we're just going to load this in here, and I'm just going to show you what it kind of looks like, and then we'll get to some other things. So it looks a lot like Minecraft in a way, but I can kind of skip through worlds, but we can kind of see the floor is is a kind of checkered pattern, and that checkered pattern is chunks. Yeah. But it means that we can kind of do things like this. So I can make selections like this. I can make a kind of 3D selection, and each selection I've got the ability to click and drag on each of the corners of a selection. And if I wanted to, I could use some of the tools down here. We've got something called fill and replace. So I could just say, oh, fill with stone, fill. And it instantly fills something with stone. So obviously doing something like that in Minecraft would take a long time. But we also use, and there's a bigger David right next. There's little David in there.
Adam, how easy is it to replicate something in MC Edit?
What do you mean by replicate?
Like if you wanted to copy that statue and make another one.
Oh yeah. So to do that, you just I'm dragging and making a selection, and then making a selection from the top to bottom. Oops. And then like that, and then I'm just going to copy it, and now I've got a copy. Okay, I've got it. It's up in the right hand corner, and I can just click and I can place it and import it. So
you know what's hilarious is that I've been working on this project for about 2.5 years.
Yeah.
It's a medieval fortress, and it's got a whole bunch of towers that are the same.
Yes,
and it's probably about 20 of them.
Well, here's
and I built every single one of them. I built every single one of them by hand. It took me a year because you would get burned out on building the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah,
I probably could have done it in 5 minutes, Mike.
I probably could have built the whole the outer walls and the tower and everything in about an hour's work.
There's another horror thing. So we're going to do, if I show you, we've got a fill tool as well. Now I'm just going to make a kind of a structure here. So I can click. I'm using a round stylus, but it's only 1 block thick. And then I'm going to press shift. Whoa. I'm going to press Z, and I can draw a line between these two. And then I'm just going to kind of draw my battlements, if you like.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm going to go back to my select tool. I'm going to make a selection like that. And then I'm going to go to my clone tool. And then I can clone it whatever along the Z point like this. And then I can repeat that for as long as I want.
Boy.
And then clone it. Another really cool thing is like, if I want to make that if I want to turn the corner, I can then clone it. I can rotate it. And it rotates on an angle, and then you can just clone it again. So you can kind of make stuff really quickly with this bit of kit. It's really amazing. Just flying past. David.
Can you build something? So now I'm like going crazy here thinking about all the things and how they would apply. Can I build something like that statue? Can that be then singularly copied and put into a pre-existing Minecraft world?
Yeah. So let's do that, shall we? So, and here we're going to use another bit of software to create something cool. Okay. So, I'm going to go to Tinkercad.
Okay.
Do you know Tinkercad?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to love Tinkercad
because it's used for 3D printing primarily.
Yeah. So we're going to create a new design. And we're gonna start our life in Tinkercad, and we're gonna let's just look at what other people have created. Let's, because we can do you know how to do Tinkercad. It's easy. So let's just go to create. Now think of something that you want. Anything, can be anything. The audience might think of something.
Yeah, chat. We need a thing.
Think of a thing.
I'm not
could
sure.
Could be a castle. Could be a cat. Could be.
Cats are evil. We don't want cats.
I
hate cats.
Think of a project that you're doing.
Okay, so let's do a Hello Kitty.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
For cats.
Hello Kitty. Press return. Let's see who's made a Hello Kitty.
Oh,
Okay,
there's one. The bottom, the second row there.
that one.
That one looks kind of cool.
Oh my, she's gonna
So
love
let's
this.
see. Oh, we can't. It's got no derivatives, so we need something that we can. Let's see. What about this? We need some.
Oh, there, that one there.
Okay. Oh no, derivatives.
Oh man, we're getting struck out
Create
there. That one
ourselves.
there.
Copy and tinker. Here we go. Perfect.
Yay.
Thank you for leaving it open, leaving that door open for us to.
Adam, do you have any idea who might have requested Hello Kitty in our audience without looking?
I wonder.
I wonder.
I'm gonna. Oh.
What's a derivative? Chat wants to know. What's a derivative?
A derivative. It's so we're gonna kind of we're gonna make something from somebody else's work. Yeah.
Oh,
so we're not talking calculus here.
No.
But almost like a remix type of idea where you
totally. We're gonna derive something from this. Perfect. So whether that's so I've just made it a little bit larger now and we can add stuff to it as well. We can add a box and we can add other bits and pieces. We can write our name in it using the text tool and stuff. And then we're up on the right hand side. We've got a few tools. We've got a Lego brick, which is awesome. When I click the Lego brick, it makes it in Lego, which is awesome. We've got 3 different sizes. We've got small, medium, and large. This is like resolution. So I'm going to go for the large resolution, and you can kind of see Hello Kitty in the larger resolution. This only really produces. It's cool. Like if you've got the blocks, you can make it, which is awesome. But also, funny enough, here's our Minecraft block. And there's our Hello Kitty in Minecraft. Again, we got 3 different resolutions. I'm going to go for the higher resolution just because you can see how cool it is.
Can I just clarify? So to do the Minecraft, you click on that little pickaxe on the side.
Click on the pickaxe, yeah.
That's amazing too. Wow.
All right. So, and this
I didn't know that this was a thing.
Right. So now we've got sponge. I don't want sponge. I want block of gold. We've got obsidian. We should probably have something like black wool. We don't have black wool in here, so we'll keep it for obsidian for now. Snow. Let's do a block of quartz and a block of redstone instead of. Let's just do. Let's keep it. Let's do bricks actually, and then block of quartz for that as well. I wonder what the other one was. So that might be. Let's do stone. Okay, that's the body. So let's do iron, which is awesome, and at the moment it says share. So sometimes this happens. This is a little kind of error. So it's not letting us export it. So I'm just going to go back and sort of reload the page. If it hasn't got an export thing up on top right hand corner, don't panic. It will be there. It's just the page loads badly or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to venture a guess as to what Kathy's going to be doing all day today?
Is she going to be making Hello Kitties?
Oh, she is.
And turn them
Hello
Kitty.
It's going to be Hello Kitty Land. It's going to be like Disney World, but with Hello Kitties.
You know what would be so cool is I'm like thinking really, here's your next project, Adam. This is an Adam Clarke size idea. Making a playable Catan in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Because we know that
trade with the villagers.
All of the parts and stuff all exist in Tinkercad, so you could export all of the pieces. Because I was gonna 3D print them, and make my own 3D printed Catan board, and then you would have to figure out how to. Oh, I have ideas.
Do it. For some reason, Tinker.
It's beyond my capability, but
everybody's
not beyond yours.
It's not loading for me at the moment.
Tinkercad, what's going on?
I know, right?
This was your moment.
I know. This is like when suddenly everybody would subscribe.
I saw it for a second. I thought.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, anyway, you can from that. I mean, I don't know, Steve. If you want to share your screen or something, and if you've got Tinkercad open, I could walk you through it. Do you want to try?
I'll do that. Let's see. Well, right now I have. Let's see. We don't want that. Let's see here.
It's just to demonstrate something, and then I'll show you.
Okay, so you want me to do the same thing, but in my screen?
Go into Tinkercad, and I'll talk you through it. Are we on your screen?
Not yet, but I gotta open Tinkercad. I gotta share the right screen.
Stuff. Yeah.
Let's see here. Tinkercad. Okay. All right, let's do it.
All right. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So many accounts.
So many accounts.
I wonder if mine's come through. No, mine's still not happy.
All right, look, we're in.
Okay, cool. So great. So just close that window there, and we'll just we can pick up anything. So you can kind of that'll do.
Should I just get rid of these two figures? All right.
So you can put spheres are difficult to create in Minecraft, so you can just grab a sphere and just dump it in the middle.
No, Mike and I know how to create spheres in Minecraft, right, Mike?
Yeah, let's do an ellipsoid. The slightly angled.
Did you say ellipsoid? Is my sphere ellipsoid?
Yeah, so it looks. If you have a look at it on the side, I think you've bent it in a.
Oh boy, that's like it's a spaceship. Whoa.
Yeah. Okay.
How do I? Let's see. I got to get the.
So your logo, which is on the top right hand corner, which says "Follow us on Twitch," is obscuring the export thing, which is okay because.
Okay.
But there we go.
I could do what? All right. Well, anyway. So what do I want to do? Export the sphere somehow?
So
should I Minecraft it first?
Yeah, go to your Minecraft block. Okay. So say you've made a giant Hello Kitty head. Okay. So as you see, it's ice. So we probably don't want ice. We probably want something like lapis or something like that. Block of quartz, brilliant. And then you just press, and then you see that you've got the export button at the top there and the share button. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously not share, but export, and you click export, and it exports it as as a schematic that we can then use inside of MC Edit.
All right, let's do that. So now I should hit MC Edit. Yeah,
mine's working again. Thank goodness for that. Right,
okay.
Right, we can come back to my screen if you want, and we'll do Hello Kitty.
We'll go to mine later. We'll go back.
Yeah, we'll look at the sphere. So I'm going to go back to my pickaxe. I'm going to change the sponge to gold. I'm going to change the snow to some iron, and then we should be all good. I'm going to make it not the smallest one, although that is kind of cute. I'm going to go for the middle one, and there's our block of iron, not sponge, block of gold, and export that. And exports it. It says copy of Hello Kitty, and that's a copy of Hello Kitty schematic. Now I'm going to go into MC Edit. And I'm going to create a new world, which we can actually do sort of in it as well. I'm going to create a creative world. It's going to be super flat, generate with flatland with a height of 4. Create.
Wow, so you can even change the height of a flat world.
Yes.
Okay, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can even have 0. So you start when you create a world.
Void world.
You create a void world. If you're interested in
void, easier than it used to be.
If you're interested in void worlds, I'll show you a technique for creating void worlds on everything in a minute. There's always a bit of sponge in the middle, so I'm going to delete that block. So I'm going to select it and delete it. And now let's bring that Hello Kitty in. So I'm going to just position myself so I can see where the whole bit of land. So I'm going to pull back using the WASD keys, and the space bar and the shift key is the kind of up and down. So up and down space bar and shift. WASD kind of moves me about, and then right clicking is kind of like my camera on a tripod. I'm going to go down to this what looks like a crane and a bucket, I always think, and I'm going to click that import button. I'm going to go down to downloads because that's where it was. Scroll down here, and there it says copy of Hello Kitty, and press open, and then dump it in. And it's as simple as that. We've now.
My God.
There's Hello Kitty. Let's go into Hello Kitty's head.
Lama, are you watching?
Okay.
So,
and then
and now we want to take that and put it into a Minecraft world now.
Yeah. So
Kathy's excited.
Okay, so I mean, you can do that, and then you can clone. So again, you can do
An army of Hello Kitties.
Whoa!
That is what we needed.
and then we'll do a clone again, and I'll go forward a bit.
This is like the what is that tomb in China with the with the soldiers.
Yes, the
Oh my
soldiers.
god!
But they're Hello Kitties.
And then, would there be TNT involved afterwards?
Oh, you could
Well,
fill them with.
we can
One
only
of the
hope.
ways of doing it is this. So here's another really cool tool. So inside of here, I'm going to deselect this. I've got my brush tool here, and I've got something called fill, and I've got something called a flood fill. So say I want to fill this all up with, for example, TNT.
I'm gonna get in trouble now.
Perfect.
I can then just go into the bottom here, and I can just click in there, and it just fills the whole thing. Now that is now completely primed with TNT inside of it. Press Control S to save it, and then we'll go into this world and have a look at it. I'll see what it actually looks like. So save it, and always remember. Now this is one of the key points: don't have this running and Minecraft running, because basically two programs trying to overwrite each other, and it causes a horrifying mess. So I'm going to quit this.
Everybody hear that? Do not have this running and Minecraft at the same time.
Close them down, and it's especially important with Bedrock as well, because close down the program, because it just has a cache running in the background, so it's going to be a nightmare.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see this. Now you're doing it in Java right now, but
but it could work. Well, I'll show you.
Oh my god,
so cute.
Look at it, Lamo, look at it.
There it is.
Yeah, here it is. And remember, this is the one with the TNT in.
So what I want to know though is, so it created a world for you. MC Edit created a world for you with. Oh my god, it's gonna happen. Get ready.
This was not my idea.
Down.
Boom.
Boom. Isn't that cool though?
It is very cool. Yeah.
I mean, so what you could do is you could bring in a fish bowl and you could fill it with water. And then you could take the top off. You could do all sorts of stuff. It's really it's kind of it frees your imagination to do really, really strange things.
So now, would it be just as easy? Like that world you created, was it specifically a Java world, or in MC Edit? Do you have the ability to make it as an Education Edition world?
No, it won't ever make it. It can't. Doesn't really like generating Education Edition ones. So
okay.
What do you want to know? Do you want to know how?
So what I was super curious about is, could you take that that build of those Hello Kitties and put it into a world that you already had? Because what it looked like MC Edit was doing was it was creating a world for you.
Yeah. Let's create a new world. Yeah. Let's do it in creative.
Now we also had the question of what do you do with the schematic? Like this, the schematic is that what you put in MC Edit, or? Yeah,
so that's what MC Edit uses, this file type called schematics to import chunks of Minecraft data. Yeah. So here we are.
There's a flat spot made for Hello Kitty.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to fly around and just make sure these chunks get loaded in. So we're flying around a bit. This looks like a good spot for it. Look at these little piggies down here. They're going to enjoy it. They're going to worship the Hello Kitty god. That's coming in very shortly. So I'm going to save and quit that.
Excellent.
I'm going to close this down. I'm going to go into MC Edit, and we'll do quick load.
You drop them into the world in MC Edit.
Yeah. And I'm going to load the world that we just made. So our piggies look like these red blobs now.
Oh,
they are entities.
I get it.
So this is the world that we were just in. So I'm going to import, go back to my downloads, find copy of Hello Kitty schematic, open that up, and dump Hello Kitty in here.
Oh, nice.
And then press import, and there it is. And then save it and close that window, quit MC Edit, and then open up Minecraft again. And
wow.
obviously
All right.
Yeah.
But now the reason I was asking before is I thought you had said earlier that we could work with Education Edition, but currently not Bedrock.
No, yeah. I'll make that really, really clear in a second.
Okay. I mean, one of the reasons I asked too is I have a lot of students that are using Education Edition, and if they could do something in MC Edit, it'll be a game changer.
Okay. So MC Edit.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And you could, I mean, and this is the great thing. You could change you could change materials for stuff as well. Actually, let's do that now. So yeah, MC Edit can generate Java worlds from scratch, but it can't do that for Bedrock. Okay. Because it just uses a different code base. So, but you can. Let's do. If you could stop sharing my screen for just a sec, because I'm going to open up my passwords in a minute, because I need to log thanks. There we go. Yeah, because otherwise it's just because it's like they're so insecure, but I otherwise I can't remember it.
Steve has a sphere on his screen.
Awesome.
Oh, you're looking at mine. All right, let's
Very
see.
cool.
Okay, so now we can go back into, because I can.
I was curious in Tinkercad. I had it open and I created a flat, like a space. What item, like we're looking at Steve's screen, where did you go to search for like Hello Kitty when you
wanted
to find it? I missed that bit.
If you press the Tinkercad logo,
yeah,
you'll head to the kind of the base page, if you like, the front page. You'll come out of your editor. Yeah.
okay.
And into your file system, and then to the right hand side next to you've got gallery, blog, learn, teach, question, spyglass, whatever.
Right.
That's your search icon, and then you can search.
in there's where you search. Okay.
I did a boat the other day, so I started off with a kind of I made a boat in Tinkercad, and then I brought it into Minecraft, hollowed it out, added some bits and pieces, and then we did the finalization bits by hand, doing it by hand.
Got it.
That's amazing too. It even says when you go to download one of these, it says download for 3D printing or download for Minecraft. I think Tinkercad just won a whole lot of credit.
It's been a kind of almost like a secret, it's
like
been amazing.
A friend of Minecraft.
I
smart.
totally didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
So I probably could go on Tinkercad right now and look up a tower.
Yeah.
Like some sort of I've
done castles and all sorts of stuff in it. Yeah.
Castle tower. And find a castle tower, and I wouldn't have had to build. Now, I mean, I guess it's rewarding to build your own, but
and I think this is Tinkercad allows you to do broad strokes, yeah,
right,
and then import those broad strokes into a world. But then there is the satisfaction of doing what we call detailing, yeah. So you might be able to do like a big grey build, yeah, of stone. But then you have to come in and you have to kind of do the details, because it's when you play Minecraft, you're not flying, it is actually the kind of close-up small details that matter. And that's player perspective as well is important. So player perspective is often different from how you've been editing. So you've got to be mindful of those two kind of things. So thinking about what the player is going to experience rather than what the editor, who can see the whole world and sort of zoom out like godlike, can see and experience. And I think that to be skilled at this kind of stuff requires a combination of those skills, to be a good editor and have a kind of godlike worldview, but also to think about the macro and think about what the close-up player experience is going to be like. because you might make something really amazing and really big that, in actual fact, you can only see if you're flying 200 feet in the air, and if you're playing Minecraft. Normally, you might not ever be able to do that. So it's to be mindful of these things. That's going to be really interesting.
Nice.
And
Cool.
especially so because you can make really stupidly big, cool looking voxel art, but it doesn't look actually that very cool when you're in it. So anyway, I'm in Education Edition now, so I'm just sort of flying around doing my thing, and I'm going to press Escape, and I'm going to save and exit. And then I'm going to show you how to open it in MC Edit. And I'm going to close down Minecraft Education Edition as well and open up MC Edit. Now, to open up MC Edit, and Minecraft Education Edition has got a couple of... It's been located in different places, okay, over the years. I don't know whenever you've installed it. So if we do quick load, for example, I only really get to see my Java edition load. So I don't want to do that. I need
so
to
on a positive note for people who are in Java, it like goes right to that app data saves folder without you having to think about it.
Yeah, without you really kind of having to think, well, where did I save it? But if we do it the other way, you have to go open, and then it's going to what it's after is it's after a level or a schematic. So I have very cleverly put my worlds in my quick access on the left hand side down here. Now my worlds for Minecraft Education Edition is app data local packages, Microsoft Minecraft Education Edition, local state games.com Minecraft worlds, and that's where it is. Gulp. But yours might be different. Yours, the newest, what I've noticed is a lot of people, the newest version is in the similar sort of space. It's in app data roaming. It's in the same folder as this, as where we would find old school Java edition Minecraft, I've noticed. But it depends on when you installed it. So have a look in those two places is what my answer is. And if anybody gets stuck, I'm very happy to help. So I've got my top Minecraft worlds is my Bedrock Windows 10. My bottom one is my Education Edition one. And I've got on date modified. So it's the last world that I opened is the folder. Microsoft very handily all call your worlds something really weird. So you never know what they are until you've got to double click it. If you open it in a folder structure, you'll be able to see the level name, but you can't see the level name here. And what we're after is level.dat, and we can open that up. And here, oops, you kind of spawn in, if you like, where your player was the last time. So there it is. This is an education world. Yeah.
Cool. Now, when I was just in MC Edit, I was seeing, let's see what I'm seeing. I see things like, I was trying to figure out how to import one of those schematics.
Yeah.
Because I see things that look like, yeah, I just didn't see where I could do that. Can you?
Yeah, so down here we've got our kind of our tools. So we've got a selection tool, a brush tool. We've got, and this is
that's what it was.
It's
okay,
like a crane and a bucket. Yeah.
Perfect.
So it's a crane and a bucket, and that's our input tool. Now let's just sort of talk to you a little bit about the kind of what we're seeing around here as well, and why the world looks like this. So in Minecraft doesn't load in chunks that it doesn't need to. It's kind of you can maybe see them. So if I'm over here, I'll be able to see all this kind of world in Minecraft, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they actually exist yet. It's only when the player kind of gets within a certain range that chunks actually get moved in. So you do get this kind of strange landscape, chunky landscape, that when you go into MC Edit, we're actually seeing the chunk data in its very raw form. Boat down there. Look at that. So that's why it looks so weird and broken, but it's not actually broken. That's just the way it is. That's the way Minecraft loads chunks in and loads the game in as the player wanders around, which is why when you first kind of come into a game, you might just get, and if you don't move, you'll get a kind of a weird triangle where the game has just loaded in a triangle of chunks around the player, and that's it. It's done. Also, you might notice that there are these pink chunks, and that's because MCEdit knows that there's a block there, but it doesn't actually know what the block is. So it's just sort of going, it's got this data thing, but I haven't got a clue what it is. So I'm just going to represent it as a pink blob. If we were to select it and make a selection, we can make a selection anywhere. In fact, you can kind of make a selection on this and select some blocks within that. And then on the left-hand side, we've got this thing called Analyze. And I'm going to click Analyze, and that tells us how many blocks and what their ID is within that selection. So we've got air, stone, grass, unused block 385.1, and unused block 385.2. So that's probably the seagrass and anything else that's down here that it doesn't quite know what it is. So it's very capable of doing stuff like it doesn't know what all this stuff is, because it came, the aquatic update came after all this stuff. But MCEdit's been built to kind of go, just accept it, but just even if you don't know what it is, just turn it pink and it'd be all right at the end.
That's it. Just turn everything it doesn't know pink. It's
yeah,
like, whatever. It's pink.
We don't know, but it's got an ID, so we kind of know it is a block and we know where it is in the world. But to stop the whole game from crashing, we'll accept it, we'll swallow it down, and we'll just carry on as normal, as if everything's completely normal and it's going to be fine. So that's one of the kind of cool things about MCEdit, which I really like. So let's import Hello Kitty into here and to see what happens to it as well, because sometimes block IDs go horribly wrong. So we'll just it's worth doing. It's worth making all the mistakes, so when you make them, you're not completely freaked out.
Oh, you could put it on the water. It'd be like a big water ocean, ocean monument to Hello Kitty.
Actually, let's put it in the water, like this.
Or underwater. Yes, like a like a relic, like a Oh, just
and then we're going to press
having a bath.
Yeah. So also let's just talk about as to put another one in here. So as I'm putting it there, right, we've got rotate, roll, flip, and mirror. So we can move these things around. Now, when we've just got blocks, that's fine. When we have things like stairs can go wrong a bit, okay? Because stairs have got stairs are there's sort of 9 ways that stairs can be. So just be mindful of that. We've also got something that says copy air, copy water, or copy biomes. Well, there's probably not any biome data, but if we put it into the water face down like this, it's a bit cruel. Let's rotate Hello Kitty up. Let's roll Hello Kitty up. So she's just lying on her back like this.
Adam, when you started your day today, did you think you would be spending all this time with Hello Kitty models in Minecraft?
No, it's one of, but I've had weirder days. This is kind of like every day in a way. And then now copy air means that she's surrounded by blocks of air, but we're not, when we've done it before, Hello Kitty is like submerged in the water. But if I included copy air and import, let's see what happens. So the water is cut out. If I deselect that, you can kind of see.
Oh, it makes like a little wall.
Yes. So the water is, so it is copying the air blocks, which are a valid ID block at the same time. So, So, I mean, in this one, you see, she's full of water as well, internally. And then we press save, and then we can open that up in Education Edition later on. So that's kind of cool.
I think Kathy needs to make like a Hello Kitty theme world.
Let me show you a couple more things while we're here, and then I'm going to move on to something else.
Do you think there's any real question about that, Mike?
I think she's doing it right now, probably.
I think she is too.
So this one here. So basically, this is Hello Kitty, and we're gonna use my other favorite filter. We've got filters here, but I'm not going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about fill and replace. Fill and replace is really, really cool. So I'm going to look for iron. Okay, block of iron. because that's what Hello Kitty's head is made of. And I'm going to, now we could just fill it, and that would just fill the selection that I've made, which is a bit boring. But I'm going to replace the iron with glass. And I can have any kind of glass. So I'm going to go for like a white stain. Oh, no, not white stained. Let's just do white stained glass like this. Okay. And replace. And then deselect. And you can see it's changed one block into another block. So
cool.
we now have to see through stuff. So that's a really powerful tool. And these are some of the sort of really powerful tools that you can kind of just get going. And I think that kind of like Tinkercad to Minecraft is a sort of really simple, quick way of kind of doing this kind of stuff.
So one last question, not related to Hello Kitty, but I'm totally like into this right now. Can you so I have my world, my medieval castle world is a world on a private server. It's a vanilla Java world.
Yeah.
But it's on like a private server.
Yeah.
In theory, I should be able to download that world file because I know I can. I have the ability to download world files.
Yeah.
And then open it into open it into MC Edit.
Yeah.
And it should show, the walls. I have the walls in the tower basically all built.
Yeah.
And then be able to go into Tinkercad, find like if I wanted to find like medieval village houses. So I didn't have to like build each house by scratch because that's where I'm at now. Is I want to build like the village part of this.
I mean, if it's in Java, let me show you another. Let me show you something else that's going to kind of blow your mind. Right.
I'm loving this.
Planet Minecraft. So let's go to Planet Minecraft to see what other people have done. So we want. I accept that, and we'll do medieval.
Oh, you might actually find mine because my thing is in there.
And medieval. I think I spelled that wrong. Old medieval. Let's do. So people have done like there's a medieval house in a chunk, and we've got someone you can download the map and you can copy and paste it.
Right.
Some people have. People have just downloaded schematics. So let's look at. Then there's a lot of lovely stuff that people have done. As long as you credit it, Minecraft schematics. Let's have a look. Yeah. They're just showing off their thing. The one thing I will say about Planet Minecraft is that some of the links will go to
like download services that have like ads.
Yeah, like media thing, and you just got to be.
Yeah.
Yes, download schematics. So if I click on this, it takes me to this is the best one. It's got its own advert, so that's quite a nice one, and it's downloaded a plot. So now I can then grab hold of this, which I can't grab hold of anymore. Let's close it down instead. Yeah, I can download schematics and do that. So there's a lot of content out there that you can use with, if people are allowing you to, as long as you're not using it commercially. I think it's kind of, it's fair game. And if you want to kind of say, this was made by, this house plot. Let's go back to this house plot. This was made by Bugs Away. They've got 2 subscribers. They've got 1 diamond. They've got now 2. I'll do that later. But you can kind of see the images of it. So there's a lot of content out there that I think people can use, especially for education and stuff like that. If you credit people properly, and you might leave a comment and a like and things like that in here, and just sort of really up people for their kind of creativity and say, I use this for this, and and create those kind of conversations.
Right.
That'd be really, really cool.
So the workflow for this Planet Minecraft bit is you would download the schematic.
Yeah.
And then you would open the you would open your pre-existing world, like let's say I downloaded my medieval world, and then I would import the schematic into that world in MC Edit, and plop it down, save it, re-upload the world file to my private server.
Yes.
And then it would be in there. That's the workflow we're talking about, right?
That is the workflow. So we just downloaded that one. I go to my downloads. That was the plot one that we've just done, and
there it is.
Here it is. Yeah.
So because it's a schematic file, not a like a world file, it's loading that chunk.
It's just the piece. Now, sometimes you get they've done the whole chunk, but sometimes you just get the houses.
Right.
So
We should define chunk for people, because I know what a chunk is, and probably Steve knows what a chunk is, but there's people that may not know what a chunk is, because it's not a block.
No. So a chunk in Minecraft is literally like this. It's let's see how wide it is. I think it's
16 by 16, I think.
Yeah, 16 by 16 by 256 high. Yeah,
that's right.
And chunks are how Minecraft kind of creates the world. Yeah,
that's right.
So the chunk data, if we were to look at a map, we see kind of chunk data, and it contains all the bits of information, including chest information. We can see that we've got some chest stuff down here. Lots of information. You know, water. There's loads of cool things under the thing. And in Minecraft as well. In MC Edit, you can kind of actually go underneath and have a look around and really see the kind of the structure of what Minecraft actually is and what it looks like as you can fly through it. It's really kind of fascinating.
Most schematics are like a certain set of blocks or maybe a chunk. Like this one was.
Yeah, so that's
probably about 4 chunks.
Yeah, it looks like 3 by 3 chunks actually.
There you go.
And also you can kind of see, because this came in from Java into a Bedrock world, we've got these little blobs of wool. Now the little blobs of wool are there because it doesn't know what they are. It's like, this is a weird block ID, but again, MC Edit does this thing where it's like, I'm just going to make it wool. Okay.
but the block ID will still, like, when you save this world and open it in Education Edition, it'll remember what the block ID is.
Yeah, because so when you open a world in MC Edit, if it's a Java world, that you use kind of a Java ID numbers. If it's Bedrock, which is this one, it'll use that Bedrock ID numbers. There are some differences. But the way MC Edit works is it kind of says, I'm just going to make it work for you guys. And if there are differences, don't worry about them. Right. So that what looks like here, it looks like double high flowers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is probably a double high bit of grass. And it was like, I don't know what the top bit is, so I'll just turn it into wool. Yeah. And you sometimes might get those kind of errors. Yeah. When you're bringing, from one side of the Java to Bedrock and Bedrock to Java, you'll get those kind of stuff. If you go Bedrock to Bedrock, or like Hello Kitty was completely fine. It knows what iron is. It knows what redstone is. It knows what gold is. All the base materials. It's when you get into the kind of weirder materials, stairs. And also, you might notice these sort of yellow outlines as well. If we go up here, we say show, we can see that entities are in red. Tile entities, which are chests. There's a couple of trap chests there, and frames and stuff like that. Those are represented with a color, and so you've got kind of color, chunk borders, sky fog, all this kind of stuff. So again, very, very powerful bit of tool is old MC Edit, and it does take you a while to get used to it. But as you get used to it, it's very powerful. So stick with it. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, I don't like it, but it's really, really good. You got to do your thing. Another kind of top tip for those people watching again is, if you press the Alt key and you run over any of the blocks, it tells you what the X, Y, and the Z is of the block. So that's your in-game coordinates. So if you think, I want to teleport to this place here, that's X 96, Y 71, and Z minus 183. So that's just pressing the Alt key on your keyboard. It took me ages to learn that. Well, here we go. Yeah. So that's like it's sort of weirdly invisible. Anyway, so that's that. Any more? We're running out of time anyway. So yeah.
Oh, boy,
you know what, Adam? Could I suggest for the last 6 minutes, since you have so much amazing stuff that I need some people to see, would you mind just kind of taking us on a little tour of some of the cool stuff you'd like to show?
Yeah, I'll show you some stuff we've got. So I'll show you my latest map that is going into the Minecraft marketplace at the moment. So it hasn't been approved or anything like that. So it might, they might chuck it back in my face. But I think it's worth showing you this. And again, we can start to understand how it was put together. And I've shared some of these images on Twitter as well, so people can kind of have a look at it. But I created a map called the Brain Box, and it's a map that I've been working on for years, actually. We'll use the copy of it, I think. Excuse me. And okay. Now. So this is kind of
Oh my God.
anatomical half slice through a human head. And I've turned it into a kind of a pleasurable adventure map. So people can fight bacteria down in the gums where there are slimes flying about. So I made this from 3D models of the human brain. I had a human brain that I'd made in Minecraft. I had a mouth as well because I was making a map called Tiny Dentist, and I created this giant head as well, using some sort of simple 3D stuff. So basically, I mean, especially with Tinkercad can import STL files. Yeah. So if you can use Blender and you can create a 3D thing, then you can take and you can export that to an STL file, which is a file that you might find for 3D printing. Then Tinkercad will import STL files, and you can then, voxelize, make anything into blocks. That's quite a complex organic sort of structure. And then you
can... there's a tower in it.
Yeah. Yes. So we've tried. There's a tower. I've got a kind of a hot air balloon that's tethered. It's really nice. So it's only tethered by a duck. Down below,
so these are all the things that the person's thinking about.
Yeah, so these are like memories, and these are like idea balloons as well, which is a little bit of parkour that we created. We've got a nightmare in here. Don't want to go in there. So I wanted to create some, and we got little cogs for thinking and stuff. I wanted to create something that was fun and semi-educational, but not really. We've got memories, so all our kind of.
Oh my God, that is so cool! Look how big that is.
Yeah.
You don't have a really good appreciation for the scale of this until you really go inside of it.
Yeah,
but
and it
my God, it's huge.
It is. I mean, we're talking about. So this is the bedrock is the floor, and the top of the head is the absolute ceiling.
Wow.
Of Minecraft.
Yeah.
So
wow.
256 blocks high.
So this is as high as you could go.
This is the top, which is brain freeze. Yeah.
You know what I love that I'm hearing and getting out of this too is like we've been doing all these sessions on things like other tools like Blender and all these other things and the way they all can be tied together now is just great. Like in other words, we could build something in Blender, we could build something in Tinkercad, we could bring it into Minecraft, we could bring it out of Minecraft. I mean, it's just awesome.
Yeah, it's been I call it digital alchemy, where we've got you don't have to be restrained by different things. It's just the eye. Now, which way am I going? That way. The nice thing about that's why I put this map on the other side, so you can actually orientate yourself when you're in the game. And then down below, I've kind of got these levitation buttons, so you can levitate, so the player can levitate around.
Little Willy Wonka thing going on there.
Yeah, it's quite cute. It's up here. Yeah.
Wow.
So this is So again, this uses all those techniques of Tinkercad, of 3D stuff. Here's the ear. So this is earwax. And then we've got a band playing in the background.
Nice. Oh my
And
god.
these are the builders who helped me build it. So there's Django.
Wow, nice.
And these are the builders who kind of came in. So I built, again, I did the broad strokes. Yeah. So I built the kind of the big head, and I built the kind of, you know, the broad strokes. But then I got kind of young builders to do all the detailing, to do all the fun stuff, to create the kind of the maps and the eye and the buildings and this, and you know, and little kind of laboratories inside of the head and stuff like that. And you know, we spent a weekend. You know, if you get 4 or 5 people on a build that is not actually that big, you know, it's big up and down, you spend all weekend building, then you can come up with some really, really incredible things. And this just is hand building as well, so it's not
yeah, that's what I like to do. People you know, I've had a lot of people ask me why I don't build, you know, in MC Edit and stuff like that. In a lot of cases, it's not because I didn't necessarily know how. I could have probably learned, but I do love building things by hand and playing around with things and making them perfect.
And then inside we got you know, these are maps, and we can kind of put images into them and stuff like that. So you can kind of almost photographic. The quality is really, really good. And
there's a whole stream on how to like, another thing that I don't know, a whole stream on how to turn your personal graphics into posters in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Because that's a really cool thing too.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think, you know, this is a good example of like the broad brush strokes with MC Edit, and then the kind of the intimate details, the player details, because it is, you know, this is the player's perspective. They come in and it's like, whoa, I'm in this kind of space, and you know, there's some foxes, and then you know, they start outside the head, but they literally can kind of start exploring it, and it feels like Minecraft, but they kind of know secretly that they're in a strange new world.
All right. That's amazing. Unbelievable. Well, I think this is a good place to stop. We got a lot more that we could go all day about this, but we all probably have things we have to do instead of playing Minecraft together, unfortunately. So Steve and I will be back later this afternoon at 3:00. We will definitely have to have Adam back again to talk again. There's so many more questions I have. I have more questions than I feel I have answers at this point now.
Yeah, the surface, really.
So thanks to everybody for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to Steve's YouTube channel, subscribe to the Inside Participate, or to the Participate YouTube channel, and please, if you haven't followed us on Inside Participate, hit that little heart button at the top of the screen so you get notifications when we go on. And
please also subscribe to Adam's channel. I see Brad already did, but I have that link there too. I mean, just you know, inspiration after inspiration. And yes, Adam, as always, thank you. I'm so grateful to you always, because every time I talk to you or anything, you know, I learn so much. Plus, I just find you to be delightful. So thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks everyone so much. We'll see you soon. Bye now.
Thanks.